Yes, I, a special one from the CEO, stand coming with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band, charges on the beat.
On the spoon to get your information. On the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon, spoon, spoon television. Spoon, spoon, spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you will know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening in Monrovia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what's happening in the ministry, to spoon. To spoon. To spoon. You provoke your very to spoon. To spoon.
Violence.
If you eat keep on breaking like my brother, to spoon.
This disgrace and denial of benefits was duly commissioned for service official. Even as late as yesterday, the president again showed to the nation that he is not a man who respects the rule of law, who he sought to legally remove the governor of the Central Bank of Liberia in clear violation of the act creating said institution. The Unity Party can be assured that the CDC will use all legal and political means at its disposal to resist this move to weaponize the country's judicial system to its selfish advantage. Yes, Mr. Waka, the action to politicize justice will be resisted and resisted strongly. The United Party government, in the execution of their civil and the evil plan, choose to ignore legal and constitutional reliance, available evidence, and pursue reckless measures. The United Party must be reminded that these antics have only brought about disorder and confusion in Liberia's recent history. The national security laws of the country plainly stipulate the measures that must be taken to safeguard public order. In a post-conflict nation such as ours, it becomes an even more challenging task. Intelligence, gathering, and operations the world over have always been of prime concern and prime eminence, requiring authority to exert extra efforts, resources to preserve peace and security. The CDC-led administration remains proud of its record to preserve the peace, security, and welfare of the country, even during the raging COVID-19 pandemic, and at times when the security of the state was at stake. I'm also deeply proud of my record as president, particularly my unwavering respect for the rule of law and my relentless fight against corruption. You may recall that during my presidency, we advanced the fight against corruption on many fronts, including granting the Liberian Anti-Corruption Commission LACC direct prosecutory powers, which is critical to the fight against corruption. To sustain and further advance this fight, we should not allow anyone the road gains we have made. To utilize its new power to fight corruption effectively, the LACC must treat all audit reports from the General Auditing Commission, the GSC, equally without cherry picking to ensure fairness and transparency, skipping previous GSC audit reports and cherry picking to target only officials of my administration undermine the fight against corruption. And the Liberian people must see such a move as a weaponizing of the LACC to witch hunt officials of my administration. Like you, my fellow compatriots, I love our country and I've always put our country's interests above and beyond my personal interests. I have championed peace and stability for man, advocating for a ceasefire during the Civil War, to leading disarmament efforts to bring peace, serving as the peace ambassador in the most recent, by conceding the election even before the pronouncement of final result. You can attest to my selfless and unwavering commitment to the peace, stability, and the betterment of our full country, our full country. Sadly, it seems that the workers' administration is interpreting our commitment to the peace and stability of our country as a weakness, and therefore keen on disturbing the peace by weaponizing key government functionaries to wish on officials of the past government. For the UP administration to exploit our legal system and risk fomenting chaos, it tells you to what extent some politicians are willing to go just to maintain power. This is exactly the path that the citizens sought not to tread, but it maintain the stability.
You got a Spoon TV, you got a Spoon Radio,
while spearheading a peaceful transition of power.
Tuto Spoon. Yeah, Rastafari. Kili bamba, kili bamba, kili bamba. Kili bamba, kili bamba, kili bamba. What I want? Yes, what you got today? Yes, what you got today?
Okay, Spoon FM, Spoon Radio, Spoon TV, Spoon Network. This is the Liberian People Station. This is where you get the news. This is where you get balanced information. This is where you get objective analysis. I'd like to welcome everyone tonight. Thanks for joining us on another edition of the program. This is the Late Night Show, the Late Night Politics with Spoon. This is where we come to talk Liberia. This space has tolerance for opposing views, regardless of your political sides, regardless of your perspective on the trending national issues. You got to have a space here to make analysis on those happenings, on those different issues as they unfold. And I'd like to say welcome. Thanks to everyone for joining us tonight. Kindly share the program as you come on. My name is Nelson Collier. Let me quickly go across and bring the rest of the team on. It's going to be a great show tonight. A lot to talk about here. You don't want to miss this edition of the Late Night Show. Kindly share the program as you come on tonight. Let's go across. I saw my man Mama. I think he have a mail on plane. Mama, welcome to the show. It's good to have you on tonight.
Well, thank you, Nelson, and thank you for the good job you have been doing, my brother.
Are you a pilot or? Did
I'm
you
trying.
take some
I,
television
I'm
courses?
trying. I'm. I'm trying to be one.
Oh, you're trying to be okay, okay. Well, it's good to have you on tonight. And I'm hoping that your audio, can serve us well tonight because there's a
Yeah,
lot to
but
talk about. And yes, let's hope we can have a great conversation here tonight. Let
thank
me
you.
go across and bring Sandy. Mr. Jau Sandy is here tonight. Mr. Sandy, welcome. Thanks for joining us.
It's good to
Uh,
be with you. Nelson, how
yes,
we doing? Mobile, how we doing?
Well, I'm good,
we're
my
good.
brother. How was your
That's
day?
good. It's wonderful. Cannot complain.
Great, 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 great.
That's great.
Yeah.
Let me bring our brother Francis up. Mr. Francis Jabati. Mr. Jabati,
Hey,
welcome to the show, man. It's good to have you on tonight.
thank you, Nelson. Good to be here. Good morning to our folks. Good evening. Good afternoon to my fellow panelists. How you guys doing?
Yeah. And then I want to go across and bring
Good,
Anthony
my
Gay
brother.
on. Mr. Gay,
You know,
welcome to the
Nancy,
show.
Nancy, I'm cutting you all right.
Yeah, no, you
No,
cutting
Brother,
me
President,
off.
what?
No,
You're
no,
loud
no,
now,
Mama,
Tabate. You
Mama, you
Tabate,
cutting me
brother.
off.
no, but you know what? My brother Anthony can be the first in the group chat, man. When we come on, when come on, the man will be pressuring, but when we come on, again, we spend telling me the man lost. Oh, Anthony,
Yeah,
Because
love me.
let me just say this to you, right?
yeah, but
I'll break
Anthony,
my. You see this section here? That's my break room here.
I
So
understand,
when my
bro.
break is over, I have to go.
You're right, you're right, you're right,
yeah.
you're right.
So,
And
so,
doing your break, you want to make your own contribution. I understand.
and I want to welcome. Let me bring Bila Swari. Welcome to the show as well. It's good to have you on.
Thank you.
Let's hope we can have a great show tonight, people. A lot is happening in the country. Plenty things going on. Last evening, we ended the show by making some predictions. You know, and trying to peep into the president's press
So you
conference
got to know
today.
how to get it meat.
His message to the country, making some analysis around what he would have said today, given the situation at hand, given all of what has been happening with the current administration taking a very strong fight against corruption, summoning and arresting some past officials or ex-officials of government, and not to mention the big fishes, finance minister, justice minister,
Then
chief,
governor.
yeah, and then extended to the bank governor. And then it got to a point where the chairman of the party disclosed that the president will speak. And he will speak and it will be big. And so finally, the president spoke today. Some of your predictions were right, and some of your predictions were wrong. But we're going to make analysis of everything the president said today. And it's a great day. And I want to say welcome to everyone. Just to give the brief update as we do here regularly on the show. I just want us to flip through it because we have a whole lot to talk about here today. Well, the president's press conference today, as you know, this is one thing we're going to talk about. And then you have the situation that has to do with the uh, the other reports. Finance, that not finance, but Commerce Minister Ami Moda is calling for uh, some comprehensive audit of his administration. And according to him, the GSE released audit reports, and there have been claims and counterclaims that the Unity Party is witch hunting people, especially so past officials of government. So he wants his administration of the Ministry of Commerce to be audited. That look, it's not just about ex officials of government, those who serve the country. Even me, I in this space. When I leave this space, I should be audited. I'm availing myself. I'm calling on the GSC and all relevant institutions responsible for audits to audit me once that time comes. Well, on the flip side, there have been mixed reactions on the president's message today. And we're going to talk about that as well. What are Liberians saying? Some people are agreeing with the president, especially when he said this administration is um taking his love for country, peaceful nature for granted, and all of that, and a lot more. But folks, I want us to take on the conversation from here. I will have to make a very quick adjustment in the background. I will have to make a very quick adjustment in the background. But I want us to start the conversation from here. Since, in fact, we closed the show last evening by talking about making some predictions around what the former president would have said today. Well, on the flip side, the Liberian National Police has been working tirelessly um, to rebrand the police and create that space where the police and the community can work together as a team to de-escalate crimes in the country. Uh, Recently, there were two experts from the U.S. who were brought into the country. The uh, the former chief of police of the state of Minneapolis, uh, and of course uh, Ambrose Russell, who happens to be an executive director of a community-based organization that has been helping with the issue of fighting crimes as well. They've been in the country. There was a major seminar held today for top officials of the Liberian National Police, regional commanders, the leadership of the Liberian National Police, who would then take the message down to the rest of the folks. This is something that should be done periodically for police officers, more like a refresher, and where they get to learn new things, get to be on par with what police across the world, are involved with. And this was just one of many seminars that was conducted. And the last time something similar was done, I spoke with some of the guys today. They said since somewhere around 2015, that was the last time similar activity was held for the police. So yes, that's a very important one. And the president today concluded that entire activity with a dinner where he pledged his fullest support to ensuring that Liberia gets to boast of a vibrant police force that the community and the greater population of the country can trust and confide in. So, we're going to start the conversation from here. I want to welcome everyone to the show tonight. Uh, as usual, we will do our openings, but due to time factor and all of that, let me firstly say, all of you in the comment section, you are welcome tonight. Due to time issue, we can't go on to call all of the names, but we appreciate all of you. Kindly share the program as you join us tonight. So let's start the conversation from here. You listen to the former president. Everything he said today. Yesterday, we spoke about how today we will get to talk about some of the arrests that have been made. But again, the former president's press conference just sort of sum everything up, and I think we can take on the conversation from here. Your thoughts on some of what the former president said today? He said that this government is witch hunting folks from the previous administration, from his government. This administration is weaponizing people who serve this country under the CDC administration. Well, he thinks that President Wakai is taking his love for country, his diplomatic posture as a witness, and he went on to say to his supporters and to Liberians today that they are no longer going to tolerate this. What does this mean for the country? What does this mean for someone who a lot of people across the world have regarded as an icon of peace? What does this say about someone who was once a peace ambassador, especially after the civil unrest we had in the country? Are we about to see another President George Weah? Are we about to see the crusade of President George Weah? Is he coming into this? Was he speaking out? And that's why I played the video. Was he speaking out from within with passion? Or did he have to say what the people who according to him, brought him into this politics, dragged him into this politics, wanted him to say today? Look, I want us to take the conversation from here. I want to make a very quick adjustment in the background. Moba, you can take over. Let's start with Cindy, and then we can make the round table.
How many minutes? 2?
Yeah, let's take 2 minutes each.
Okay, no problem. Yeah. All right. Cindy, 2 minutes, bro.
Look, good evening from my end. It's good to be here. Last night, I predicted, or I was anticipating a peaceful speech from President Weah. I said on this show that I hope to hear the former president speak in the direction of maintaining the peace and gathering his folks to also encourage them to maintain the peace. I did not quite hear that level of peace that I was looking forward to in his speech. So I mean, when it comes to that, I'm a little bit disappointed. What I heard from the former president is anger. The former president is very angry, given some of the actions or recent actions that have been taken by the current president. Where as official of his government, the government of President Weah, are being held to the law for accusations of corruption on their watch. So you will expect that President Weah, who I expected to come out today to just encourage those ex officials to, like Samuel Tuer, to report themselves, make themselves available to be questioned by the Liberian government. I mean, it's unfortunate that he did not go in that direction. Look, there is a key word today from that speech that is being talked about across the country. And that key word is resist. The former president said that they will use their political will and legal will to resist the current government. I'm trying to paraphrase this. But basically what was said is that legally and politically they will resist the President Boakai administration. And he went on by saying the president is using their love for country or peaceful nature to take advantage of them. Quote, I'm trying to paraphrase again. What I want to focus on is that word resist. And to also discuss that intellectually, along with the word legal and political or politically. What I'm seeing happening across the country today is that the word resist politically and legally is being misinterpreted by a lot of people, positioning it as if the president, the former president, is saying that he's going to bring harm to Liberia, he's going to do, he's going to take some harmful actions against the country. When I heard that being discussed today on Spoon and other media, I was a little uncertain of whether they actually understood what political and legal resistance mean. And I want to encourage Liberian people not to fear. I did not hear President Weah saying we're going to bring war. That's not what he said. I didn't hear him saying that we will oppose the government on every front. I heard the president or the former president saying that we will use our political strength and the legal means to resist some of the government actions.
But Nelson, I mean, Jalayu, just 1 second. But you listen to one of his strong supporters who work in his government, which is Asedo on the Spoon Talk today. He never mentioned like probably they will use the legal means. He said they will use whatsoever like every means when it comes to that, like the political side to obstruct any which one. That's what he said. So like if people are actually do coming in, right, and saying things like that. So I you see that because he's a first hand president to the former president George Manuel Weah.
I want to discuss the speech that comes from President Weah. I do not want to focus on the sidetrack of people like Asik Do, or even one of our own panelists here, the brother Vasco Smoke. I don't want to listen to those people. Again, my focus is to intellectually discuss the president's speech. People will come out and make noise. But I do not believe that President Weah intends to destabilize the country. We welcome political resistance. We welcome legal resistance. It has always been the case in the country. Political resistance really means that they could do advocacy, they could lobby against some of the government actions. They could protest, they could peacefully demonstrate.
30 seconds.
We saw some of the political resistance on the when the UP was in the opposition. Do you know how many government officials under President Weah that has been sanctioned? Do you know who lobbied for those sanctions? That's political resistance. We saw people like Henry Pedro Costa protesting during the administration of President Weah. That's political resistance. Once it is done peacefully and it's done legally, it's welcome. What I want to encourage the current leadership of President Wakai to do is to ensure that our security sector is intact, but also to ensure that whatever they are doing as an administration is done in line with our constitution. It's done in line with our constitution. Because once it is not done in line with the constitution, you expect that the opposition community will rise up politically and legally.
Thank you.
But when the opposition community should do that unlawfully, then the Liberian security sector should be empowered enough to take actions, and the judiciary system should ensure that those people that are resisting unlawfully should be brought to the law.
Thank
But
you.
I don't want the message to be interpreted as if President Weah is bringing war to Liberia tomorrow. That was not the message, in my opinion, based on my intellectual understanding of the war resistance.
Thank you so much, Sandy.
You know, is Sandy playing the Grand Gillette card tonight? No, look, Sandy, we have to. We have to order some things here. Look, Sandy, a lot of people just listening to what President George Weah said today. And sorry, we have to do some adjustment in the background, but honestly, I think Mobile gave Sandy 5 minutes. So we have to just go around the table. Yeah.
With 5 minutes. Yay!
No. We're not going.
You must explain when you say we are playing a Grand Gillette card. We have a country that is not going in the direction of tribalism, or our views here are not county-based. We are talking Liberia. So can you explain what you mean by Grand Gillette? You know, we're taking a Grand Gillette card here tonight.
No. Thank you, Sandy. I was just putting out.
I'm not putting you to see what you're saying.
You know, I wanted to come in from somewhere, but I lost my train of thought. But thank you, Sandy. I think we can hear from Mobile. Mobile, you want to go, and then we get.
Yeah, no problem. No, yeah. Thank you, Nelson, and thank you to our listeners, on Radio Land, Facebook, YouTube. You guys make this happen every day. We appreciate you guys so much. Well, Nelson, today I listen to the Spoon Talk. Every day our brother then can come on the show and say, why they can start the audit from the past 12 years, and we're forgetting to know there's a limitation. And Mame was the one who read that limitation today on Spoon Talk. And I was a little bit busy. I never put down the documents. I mean, I not put down the facts because I really want to come on here with, Senator Nelson and Nelson Pony also we can read it. But the main point here is Nelson, like we all understand, right? Liberia, we all understand a lot of people in our country do a lot of
You,
things.
you mean the statute of limitation?
The statute of limitation on our criminal something I think 0.5 or 5 point something according to the Constitution, right? So if we're not going to that, so let our brother from the other side rest their case. That's the reason why the president, His Excellency, title President Joseph Yuma Bwaka, conducting this audit within his regime, let's say within less than 5 years. He want to complete the audit. And, people say a lot of things. And we understand, all we want, one of the reasons we put this government in power to audit. Now see, every million step start with a one stone. So if Joseph Yuma Bwaka and other people starting now, that, okay, you know what? The people that stole from the Liberian people, we will make sure we bring them to justice. And in going by the procedure, then we're seeing people from the other side and our brother from the other side saying it is a witch hunt. Nelson, I think it's not fair to the Liberian people. And a lot of people today call, and people even DM me today. Nelson, if I tell you, I got over 2, 3, a lot of texts, coming in, people texting me and expressing their frustration in the former ruling party. That why they got to do this.
But again, Moba, let's be real with everything that's happening here. The ruling party, the former ruling party, led the country for 6 years, went to an election, was defeated at the ballot box.
Yep.
Following the process, the former president concedes, even while counting was going on, though it was glaring that he had lost the election even at that time. Now in the process, next up is the big features around him are being caught in the web of corruption, allegedly. They're being dragged to court. They're being put behind bars. Moba, in all fairness, what did you expect the former president to say today in that address, other than what he said?
Nelson.
I mean, just giving everything that's happening, Ture, welcome to the show. Just considering everything that's happening now, the former president is saying that his party is being weaponized. Ex-officials are being weaponized. That in fact, this is a tactic to silence the entire CDC, which happens to be the major opposition party in the country.
Thank you. Nelson, look, before his press conference, which is today in our country at the time, we analyzed the press conference before even the former president could start. Started, rather. And we came out with a lot of, and we analyzed it. And some of us came out that he will come to give a divisive speech, divisive press conference, and what he did. Nelson, look, let me tell you, what I was expecting for the president, right, to do today was probably him like, okay, you know what, Summit 12, the people call your name in a report, come and exonerate yourself by the court. Okay, all the people in the list there, you come, let us go to the court.
But listen, Mara, don't you think he said that? Don't you think he said that when he said they will use every legal and political means to address the situation? Don't you think that the legality, that aspect that has to do with the legality, clearly points to the court process? They're going to find their legal team. They're going to go to court and exonerate themselves in the court of law, providing the pieces of documents to set them free.
Nothing. Look, you should make it specific. You should have said something like, okay, you know what? Summit 12. He's not make a reference, like he's not call Summit 12. He has Summit 12 not call a speech. He should have called Summit 12, like in our press conference today. Tell him, come, bring us over. Let us go through this, and we are together. people will listen, but you can go
Okay.
and listen. Right after that press conference, you see a lot of sedition. Even my big brother, what he needs, the president, the former president, like Tim Owen said, the president said he make a great Carrasco. The president make a great mistake by giving the presidency to Joseph Yuma Boakai, and which of course we know in the court of law, the people come up and voted for Joseph Boakai. So when they make a statement like that, that is not in the confines of the law. So where we are hailing, brother.
Thank you very much, Moba.
Yeah,
I want to hold you there, Moba. Let's bring Francis in a bit, Moba. I want to hold you there. Sorry, I had to hold you there because
no problem, brother, no problem.
Let's take Francis on this one. Francis, you listened to the former president today. He said they're being targeted. Witch hunt is the order of the day. And everything that's going on here is happening because this administration wants to silence the CDC. I mean, Francis, I want to get from you, what's your analysis around the aspect where the president spoke of using every legal and political means to address this situation? What do you make of it when the former president said they are not, or he is not going to tolerate this, they're not going to take it anymore, and they're going to stand up?
Nelson, I know a lot of people expected much from that speech today, but for me, I was not surprised because I didn't expect much. This is one of the weakest political speech ever in the history. Yeah, it lacks substance. It was total regurgitation of all of the noise that been running around the country, witch hunt, this, that, and all. Nothing new, but he's being used. You see, that's the problem. This guy is like a hostage in his party, right? He's the most popular person in our country for the last 2 decades or so. So CDC, outside of George, we have nobody. So they continue to use him. The same issue with the airport situation where they're talking about the presidential lounge, this, that. It's not George Weah that's pushing it. It's the goons and stuff that are behind him that want to keep CDC relevant, but they don't know how to politically go about keeping the relevance of CDC. So they just grabbing for straws. So this speech today, he didn't write it. I mean, of course, not our president can write their own speech, but it was not his idea. It was not his idea. The people that are behind him that's pulling his strings are the ones that wrote that speech. So it lacks substance. And let's say this, I mean, I was surprised today, even here on Spoon Talk, I know in other places people want to make news and things like that. Nothing that speech called for uprising or any disturbance in the country. He said legal and political means. So, yeah, politically, you can write your folks, you go through the court, you go through the legislation. There are talks about wanting to impeach President Boakai. You can't just do that any other way, but politically, by going to the legislature and other legal means. So there was nothing wrong with what he said. The speech was empty. It was flat. Talk about which one.
You know, and Francis, I understand exactly where you stand, and you definitely say the speech was empty and all of that, and I respect your position on this. But let's look at the fact that the former president is influential, very, very influential, and whether you agree with this or not, that's something you cannot take away from former President George Weah. The next thing is, in the heat of the moment, during this period when some influential people who led this country for 6 years or so are being arrested, invited by the police, behind bars, he's coming up to say, we will not take this. In fact, what you are doing is a political witch hunt. The next thing we're seeing is that the likes of Representative Gray, former Representative Akaras Gray, they're taking onto the social media and having a conversation now about how they are going to introduce an impeachment bill. to see to it that President Boakai is impeached.
You see,
And
I
then
mean,
maybe we want to elevate the conversation a bit to go to the legislature. What's the situation there at the legislature? Who are the movers and shakers? Who are the most influential people there at the legislature? What are the possibilities of these very things you're talking about happening?
nothing. Let me tell you one thing. Folks that Akara Gray, like I said, Akara Gray was maybe like 4 or 5 years ahead of me in SDA. We all used to jump the fence. We set out to go eat at the Kobo shop across the street.
That's his past. That's his
That man was
past.
very broke. So Akara Gray, he's very good at talking, a very good orator, but he has no backbone. He has no backbone. He's a two-flat. When I talk about two-flat bulldog, that it was that speech today, and folks that Akara is great. But let me tell you, so they'll keep running around with wish on. I ordered 1,000 broom to send to the library for all the witches and to be running around broom and hunting all the alleged criminals in our country. But just to just wrap things up, library people, don't be scared. Now, you did judge me. I don't know Chancellor address Baha. He knows former President Chancellor address. So you think he's calling for disturbance in our country uprising? You think he won't be rooming with former President Chancellor? George Bush is a very selfish man. He comes first. So you think he will put his life on the line, on his freedom on the line for any presidency? He didn't even want to run again. That is people that brought him back, and now they are using him. I mean, no Chancellor address.
Thank you. We want to hold you there. Sandy, I see your hand up. You want to make quick 30 seconds, then we take Bida.
Yes, Nelson, look, you made a very good point, right? I also agree. I mean, I said here that the president mean no harm, but we cannot erase the fact that there are people behind him giving his influence that may misinterpret the speech. People that, Moba made reference to folks like this guy, what is his name?
Asedo.
No, not Asedo, that other brother, the assistant, the bag carrier.
Carrasco.
Carrasco then will come up and say things. I also heard a guy today who made his connection to the Model folks that, he was part of the Model and blah, blah, blah. So there are a lot of people that will come out to make a lot of threatening statements, to fear the Liberian people. But Nelson, we have a country of law. No one will bring war to Liberia. I do not believe President Weah meant harm or that he was directly inciting war. But folks around him that may interpret it as such and want to make threatening remarks to Liberia, we have a government. Let the Liberian government take legal action. When I saw that gentleman who said he was a model general and blah, 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 he should be questioned. He should be invited. If you make threatening remarks to the Republic of Liberia, they must invite you. I do not believe, again, that President Weah's speech was meant to incite violence. But for those that will interpret it as such, they must be questioned.
Thanks a lot, Cindy. We want to hold you there. Let's take Bida, and then we're gonna move to
My brother to do it. That shit to now.
Look, thank you very much. And let me say a very good evening to all of the folks out there via radio, via whatever means you're watching the show. And thanks and appreciation to all of the great guys here for taking upon your time to discuss Liberia. It is very mind-boggling, and it's very perturbing in the minds of people to sit on the platform to think that statement was not hateful, it was not insightful, it was not whatsoever adjective we could use. Like yesterday, we perceive in our mind that it will be the usual political chicanery. It's here tactic speech. Now, I want to dispel a few things that President Weah said that is not true. President Weah said in his statement that people were taken from their position illegally, standing position. Now, he mentioned the governor. If somebody is appointed or if somebody is said to be in a standing position, and in the minds of President Weah, there's no cause that person can be removed from that position. And we want to dispel this myth out there. Somebody can be removed from your position based on a popular cause, and that basic cause is corruption. And I think the reason the governor was removed from his post was the issue about allegations of corruption that you called a
You know,
murder yesterday.
and let me just come here a bit, Bila, and you're going somewhere very important for the sake of our audience, and that is the issue of tenure, people serving tenure position, and this whole idea that once you're in a position of tenure, then it means that if you're there for 5 years, that 5 years supposed to finish.
Yeah.
Anything less than 5 years, then it's against the law. No,
Yes.
um, there are causes, there are reasons, basis on which individuals, even serving in tenure positions, can be removed. All right. Yes. In the case where there's an ethical breach, even if you're serving in 20-year tenure position, if you breach the ethics for that particular position you occupy, they can take you from there. Let's assume you security personnel, you go get involved, something like it bursts up, they can take you from there. You health
Yeah.
practitioners breach the ethics, they can remove you. You know,
Sure.
so yes, that's a very important one there. But
Thank
just
you.
laying on this.
Thank you. And thank you for your additional information in regards to my point. And basically, President, we are talking about Saber 7 being taken out of. No, what the CDC did was illegal to bringing people into the system. What they did not follow the Saber 7 procedure act. The Saber 7 was barbar in most cases of bringing people in the name of being partisan. In their minds, they wanted to achieve the issue about the 1 billion job that they talk about, they wanted to achieve. But they they didn't do it properly. Basically, when you look at the Minister of Budget admitting to some basis allegation from what was said to be a corruption in the case of where Samuel Tower were indicted, she talked about more things that most of the things the CDC did in the afternoon, there are more things that she was not basically informed about. Being a minister of budget, there are more things that need to be procedurally done, passing through the budget procedure law, the budget procedure act as well. But she admitted in her testimony, because I read her testimony, she admitted that most of the things were done. Basically, people were brought to the burial position by not looking at her position as a minister of budget. So what we want to tell our people is there are more things the CDC did. When I listen to the president today, like I want to slightly agree with my brother Francis when he said President we has been used in a funny manner because the statement he read the statement. You started a statement by saying you are a peaceful man. You say a peace ambassador. And somebody who's telling as being they want to intellectualize the whole thing, and you want to say is you're talking about using the political mean. How many of I'm saying to be correct, that 60% of our population are illiterate. How many of our people understands resistance from the political perspective and the intellectual standpoint? If you are as individual who has influence in our country, you stand in front of the pulpit, but do not
But
have the guts.
again, Bila,
Yeah.
whose responsibility is it to break this thing down for the ordinary people to understand it?
So basically, we clap. I don't want to say ouch, but if I was the advisor to President Weah, I could have
Mhm.
make him more understand that there are certain words when you get out there, you got weight as an
Mhm.
individual. I could have advise you on that, but I'm not an advisor. But see what my
No,
brother Carrasco.
no, the reason why I'm coming in with that question is because you just said that um the ordinary people down there, a vast a vast majority of the population, a very good number of the population, do not have what it takes to interpret when the former president said that he will resist, which in your analysis you think implies that the those people, some of them might interpret it as he wanting to he calling them to stand up to this current administration, whether through violence or whatever. All right. But again, and that's why I came in with a question: whose responsibility is it to ensure that this message sinks down to even the ordinary people who may not have the ability to interpret this?
So I'm more of looking at President we are resisting statement from the gullibility of our country. Now, nothing is very easy. Somebody just for example, right? It's very easy for somebody to sit on the platform and say Nelson is a criminal. And when you don't have that time of explanation to give to the people and leave in the area 1 or 2 days, come on, that allegation goes against you. So my point of
Yeah.
the issue about President, we should desist from the and let people start being misusing. I understand that President, we do not have the guts to even stand in a amount of protest that the citizens said to organize. I don't want to believe that he's such a president, right?
Thank you.
But if to conclude on this, to allow people to be using you in that form and manner in the name of political leader is very
But
disgusting.
you know, this whole thing about people using President George Weah,
It
are we
is.
saying that he, as former president, an adult citizen of their country, more than 50-year-old president, you really think it's possible for someone to be using him, former president of the country? You think
Oh,
so?
oh yeah. When you listening and read that statement, whether it was when you listen to the statement, I mean the statement from the president today, you actually know that the president they didn't even read that statement like 2 or 3 times before coming to the pulpit to read it up today, because there was
Thank
a
you.
conflicting contradiction
Government,
in his statement,
governor. Yes.
conflicting
Let's
contradiction.
hold you guys there.
And we
Let's
can
hold you
go
guys.
back to the speech.
That's what I saw. Mickey Hill. Mickey Hill tried to join in for the first time in a long time. Let's hope we can bring Mickey Hill right after Vasco. But Ture, I want to give you the floor. Vasco, welcome to the show. Ture, let's hear your thoughts, your analysis on the former president's speech today.
Yeah, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Yeah, man. Look, let me tell you this, Nancy. I did not go on listening to that speech with any sort of expectation that the president was going to do anything other than what the president already did. And I was totally off the bat. Francis was spot on this, that the president was actually going to be used, and that's exactly what happened. And let me say this. I hear from my brother Sandy. Sandy said the president did not intend to be insightful. That's exactly what this speech was about. In the first place, the president there was absolutely no reason for the president to even have this speech. The president knew exactly what he was going to talk about, and he did. And that rivaled his people, and he started talking crazy. But let me tell you this. It's hard enough to give a speech, but it's even harder if you are not even inputting anything on a speech that people write and just put in front of you to deliver it. That's what happened. That is the hardest thing. Because if you know that you're writing something, right, you will know exactly how that delivery will be. It will be smooth, it will be transitional. But we did not experience that. Right? For a man who was president for 6 years, he still struggle how to deliver something that already put right in front of him. Now, let me tell you this.
I know you're going to the presentation aspect and everything, but the former president said this, that even after he was elected, he said you shouldn't judge him by the eloquence of his speeches or by the quality of the work he will do, his performance in office as president of the country. So why do you want to judge him by the eloquence of his speech after 6 years when he already told you so many years ago that it's not about the eloquence, it's about the performance? But anyway, Ture, I know you wanted to transition, but go ahead.
Let me tell you this. If you're still around a garage, let's say someone put you around a garage, but you're not a mechanic, but you've been around a mechanic for so long, the least much you expect from you is to at least change your tire. We don't expect you to do anything with the engine because that would be a little bit complicated. But changing the tire, that's the least people should at least expect. And the president have not done that for 6 years, man. For 6 years, his experience giving speech at the United Nations, at some of these things, and the president still struggle with this. This is bad. Look, let me tell you this, right? We heard Kalasco then speaking crazy. We heard the other dude in a military attire talking crazy. This is what the president meant when the president said in that very speech that we will resist. What are you resisting, Mr. President? What are you resisting? An opportunity that afforded to you to do what you're supposed to do. Then you're trying to resist somebody doing what they're supposed to do? My brother, let me tell you this. If our president, George Manuel Weah, like you start talking about, he's a peace ambassador, blah, 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 all that stuff. Look, we get that, Mr. President. We know exactly you are not you when you start talking the way you talk, because that is not you. But do not allow people, these political opportunists, to use your goodwill, right, to plunge all of your legacy into chaos, because this is exactly what's going to happen. Number one, you mentioned in your speech that you relinquish power without even going through all of the counting processes. We are applauding for that, the international community, the UN, the United Nations, the US. Everybody say thank you, Mr. President. Now this is not you. Like Betty White always said, you are not you when you're hungry. Sneaker satisfied. Mr. President, go sit down and relax. All right? Let the opportunities allow them to go do something in the private sector. They should not use your goodwill to plunge your prolonged legacy into the way some of them have misused here. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That's not say former to wait. Just keep saying president.
You know, former. I mean, president praying.
No.
Praying.
I'm praying, man. We are former and we are president, man.
Praying. But listen, man. Let's let's welcome our brother Mickey Hill. He's been off the show for a very long time. It's a great thing that we have Mickey coming to join us tonight on the show. He said he's coming in specifically for Vasco. I don't know why, but Mickey, it's good to have you on the show tonight. Oh, the man went up. You know, he saw Vasco face. He had to because if they say when you're in Liberia, he used to go spa to Vasco Video Club. And Vasco will be many days. But I want to welcome we're going to welcome Mickey at some point. But Vasco, let's hear your thoughts on former President George Weah's speech today, his delivery.
Thank you so much, Nelson. Let me say hi to our listeners by the means of radio and those that are watching us through the various social media platforms. Yeah, and Nelson, you know, sometimes I know people who listen to us sometimes and watch, or I know sometimes they scratch their head when they listen to some stuff coming out from some of the panelists. Nelson, today, the former president's speech was so simple for even people, because President we are speaking, he speaks for everybody. People who went to school, people who not went to school, they will understand what he's saying. It was very simple today. I think my brother Sandy tried to make these people understand, but they are saying something different here. Nothing. This speech was centered around the I don't know how to classify it.
Listen, Vasco, I understand this speech leaked in the chat.
Make it love, but make it.
Listen, I told you yesterday that I told you, right? The president's speech will be forceful. I told you things that you never experienced before from the president. You're going to experience it. I don't want to jump the gun. Listen, look. The current administration is going in a very wrong path. First of all, let me break this news right now. In Nigeria, there is serious uprising right now in Nigeria. Breaking news. Go on any slow page. Go on any slow page right now. You see it. He just posted it 30 minutes ago.
What's the political alignment of Senator Snow?
Political alignment. Snow is for NPP.
Come here somewhere mobile. Well, yeah. What's the political
NPP? He's for NPP.
What's the political alignment? What's the marriage with the NPP and the CDC?
As you know, we were in a collaboration, but the collaboration came to an end, right? So now NPP is on their own and the CDC is on their own. Maybe until they can come back again into another agreement. But right now, the two parties, they are running their own stuff. Next in President, we are making simple today. He said that this current administration is breaking all of the laws in the country. You cannot be the law breaker. Then you want to enforce the law on other group of people. Before you can enforce the law on other group of people, you should be someone who will respect the law. From the time this man came to power, he's been breaking the law. And now you want our party to sit down. You want people to think that it is the CDC that spoiled the 1847 Liberia. They're 6 years to stay in power. They don't want damage Liberia. So you want them to sit down and look at you messing everything up in the country to come after them. If you want to go after people, do the right thing. I listened to somebody talking about Elisha Talu, the executive director. I don't know what you read it from. I don't know whether you can read with comprehension or what.
Vasco, let's be moderate.
That's how I called me. I said, I don't know what they
But
read it
leave
from.
Vasco you flow. You can use what
I don't know what
Well,
they read
Nessie,
it
what you
from.
want to say, Nessie?
That's
No,
my flow.
guys, let's not do this, right? Let's give Vasco the time. Let's stop interrupting.
That's what I would do.
I'm just saying to Vasco, you have to be you have to be very selective of your of the choice of words you use in your
Okay, Nessie, I take it back. Well, I'll just say I don't know where they read it from.
reciprocal. But Mickey here, welcome to the show. It's good to have you on tonight, Mickey. It's been a long time since the
I
last.
take it back. Nessie. So let me you're being interrupting me. So let me go ahead. Nelson, so
Yeah, you want to lay your thoughts now.
yeah, the president talked on the $22 million that was spent.
Mhm.
The president talked on the violation of the tenure position of our laws. The president even just spoke. He spoke on the recent suspension of the central bank governor. And Nancy, the law that protect that place is very clear. The president having nothing to do with that position. The only way that make that identical position is through the what? The house. Read that thing up and down. They wouldn't want to talk about the president can remove this person, can remove this person. It's through what? Sickness. And that sickness should come from a medical source.
Sorry to ask you this question, but I want to know what exactly you're talking about.
I'm talking about the central bank.
Oh, okay. The CBL governor, right?
The CBL governor.
And
I think section 14, something like that. They read the removal of the central bank governor. Nancy, there is nothing over there that get the president.
I want to say something here.
Yeah.
The CBL governor.
That is where today I want to challenge everybody on this show.
And I want to provide some information here. The CBL governor is being suspended.
Yeah.
With immediate effect.
Yes.
For time indefinite.
Yeah.
So I want us to firstly establish that suspension is not dismissal. You can be suspended, and based on how well you address the issue for which you were suspended, you can be reinstated. But if you are dismissed, they tell you, say, go sit down, you're not working here again. Suspension, go sit down here, that locality what you do when our house certified will bring back. But anyway, go ahead, just lay your thoughts, then we can get Mickey to come in.
They call it man power off. Oh. They make an upside down.
Yeah. You get me?
Why?
You know, Vasco.
But using comprehension, like what they comprehending?
And someone is asking why is another person being appointed. When someone is suspended, that person goes sit down. Somebody can be in that position. I think until. But Mickey, let's hear you because Vasco has some issues with his connection.
Good evening, gentlemen. Am I audible?
Yeah.
I mean, it has been a long time. I went
you want to adjust your camera a bit? We just seen a little portion of your Okay.
I'm good.
Yeah, you good, Mickey?
All right. I mean, it has been a very long time. Took a sabbatical. because there was too much noise, political noise, and I ain't got patience for stupid people. So I had to take a break. But I mean, with everything that's going on, and you listening to, you see, going let ugly. It wasn't a coincidence that Vasco screen turned upside down. It wasn't a coincidence. Nobody controlled Vasco's screen. How did it turn upside down? It goes to speak to the fact that everything Vasco was saying is upside down. Just because somebody has a tenure position, it doesn't mean that person cannot be suspended or cannot be removed for alleged malpractices. There's nothing in the law. Tenure position is not unique to Liberia. Tenure positions are all over the world. So you're telling me being in a tenure position equates you to a monarchy, right? You are a monarch. You're more like a king. You're not subject to any criminal probe. You're not subject to any criminal investigation. You're not subject to dismissal. There's nothing in our law that says the person cannot be dismissed based on XYZ. Just because they are a tenure position, it means that they are there for the duration of that tenure. Doesn't make, when you want to speak on certain issue, sometimes when I was in the military, when I went through basic training, in class, we had two of our folks, right? Every time they ask questions, because the military is collective guilt, collective punishment. When one person screws up, everybody's going to bear the blunt of it. So we have two people who always, it's a matter of must that when they ask question, we're going to be punished for that. It came a time, one of the drill sergeants look at the guys and say, hey, before you ask a question, turn around to your battle buddy on your left, ask that question, and turn around to the person on the right, ask the question. If it makes sense to them, then you ask me the question, because I'm tired punishing the rest of the folks of you. Before you say certain things, make sure it's logical. Because when you come on a public media, you are there to disseminate information, factual ones as well. How you would come here and sit and say once a person has a tenure position, they cannot be removed at all.
And Mickey, that's very important, and I think Vasco said that in passing. Unfortunately, Vasco was still making his point when he experienced some technical issues, and then he had to go off. But again, maybe we should come back to you. But I guess you listen to or watch the former president's address to the country today. There were lots of things he pointed out. And Vasco, I want you to be patient a bit since Mickey is already on the floor. We're going to allow Mickey to conclude, then we come to you, Vasco. The former president said that this administration is trying to silence the former ruling CDC. Officials of that administration are being witch hunted, and that they will not resist. They will not tolerate anymore. In fact, they're going to resist. I mean, what's your analysis around what the former president said today in his address?
As usual, what do you expect to come out of somebody who is always incoherent? When you want to define the word witch hunt, witch hunt has elements, right? Witch hunt by who?
This administration.
Listen, there are three branches of government. Equal check and balances, right? Equal, distinct branches of government. The executive controlled by the president, the legislative controlled by the speaker, the judiciary controlled by the judges, right? The courts. That's what I said when people speak, because we have a gullible society, it tends to make headways. You can't, somebody cannot go through the legal process. Listen, Nelson, I'm in investigation and I'm also a paralegal. During the legal process, there is something called grand jury. Before an indictment is placed on an individual or group of individuals, it goes to the court. All the evidence goes to the court. It doesn't go to a judge in a criminal proceeding. They got something called grand jury. The same way you see the jury in the court doing a trial, they got something called grand jury. Grand jury comprises of judges, right? Not one, not two, sometimes 3, 4, 5, right? The grand jury go through the evidence. They got something called true bill. If the grand jury finds enough evidence to proceed with the trial, they send out something called a true bill, which means, yes, there is so much here that we can see to carry this case forward. That is the legal process. Did the likes of Samuel Twain and other people went through the process? It was a court that issued the indictment. You understand? So how will you wake up in the morning and say it's which on by who? The president is not the one who sat there and crafted the evidence. He's not the one who sent the true bill. He's not a grand jury. So how can you say somebody is witch hunting you? It doesn't make any sense. But again, people who are not educated will come out and they got something called claptrap. They will spew all kinds of nonsense.
You know, and I know where you're coming from, Mickey. The process is yet to be exhausted by the parties that have been hooked up, the parties that have been accused. Well, and the process is on, but as we speak, some of the folks are behind bars. All right, but that's just one aspect. And I want us to conclude with you on this one. Then we take Vasco, and then we're gonna give 30 seconds across the board, and then we take some calls, and then we'll be done. What do you make of the aspect where the former president said that they will resist? They're not going to tolerate this anymore. They will use political and legal means to resist this witch hunt that is being carried out by this administration.
Nelson, our Igbo brothers from Nigeria, they have an adage, right? It says, when an individual cook for the community or the village, they will finish the food. But when the village cook for one individual, you can't finish that food. What George Weah said today, George Weah is not bigger than the Republic of Liberia. I don't want to be the dead horse. A lot of people say scare tactics. That's true. These things will happen. You dare expect people to just lay back, especially the guilty ones. They will fight back. But how far is it going to reach? The reason why you see there's so much noise, because there are still a lot of them left to echo the sentiments of the ex-president. But as the indictment comes forth, and a lot of them being placed behind bars, Nelson, it will come a time that man will sit down there to have a press conference. It will just be he and Sekou Kalasco, because Kalasco, but you can't really, he was not government official, so that why he more sharp. You can't really bring charges against him because he didn't have any position to say, oh yeah, you corrupt or whatsoever. So maybe it would just be Kalasco will put a microphone there, then Kalasco will stand as a photographer as usual. He's still there because a lot of people didn't go to jail yet.
Thank you. Let's move to Vasco. Vasco, I think you can lend your thoughts on this. We're going to give you.
Nancy, thank you.
30 seconds across the
I was saying something pertaining to the central bank.
Yeah, the government.
Right? And I said, I dare any of them here to read that section and show where this president has the power to suspend that man. Section 14, y'all go look there. Where this president has the power to suspend the central bank governor. You know, y'all will be laughing because y'all are like, when y'all go to school, when y'all can read and comprehend. So how we don't know both are giving you this now. We on the public platform.
Vasco, I'm not trying to interrupt. Section 14 of what document?
Yes, Section 40 what? That's such.
The Central Bank Act. I sent it to Nancy. Nancy, I know he won't put it up today. Send it to Cindy. I'll put it in the chat. I think I'll put it in the chat.
No. Vasco, please don't. Can you resend the document, please? I have a lot
Oh,
of
just
stuff.
put in the chat room. Just put in the chat room, Vasco.
I can try, although I don't know both, but let me read.
Or put in the chat room now so that we can see it.
Vasco, on a serious note, you didn't send me this.
Nancy, look at your messenger. I put it in the chat room today. I sent 2 screenshots. But because when I post it in the chat room, you don't look at it. Nancy.
But ain't get it. Just put it there right now.
Yeah. Go to the Central Bank now.
No.
14. Go down to number 4.
Okay, Vasco.
Let me tell you.
No, let's
Nancy, is there? Can you read it?
No, let's do this fast. Can you share that document with me?
I check your messenger right now. The Nancy your messenger.
There's
I just sent it to you.
That was in March about 13. You sent me that.
No, so I had a call right there, Nancy. Not March about that, man.
But that's okay.
Not just forget Section 14. We agree.
Go ahead, Vasco. Go ahead.
So you see, this president is violating the laws of our country. If this president was on the right track, the Supreme Court, the biggest decision making body in the country, the court, told the president that you are in error to take these people from their training position. What did the president do? He went back and he suspended the people. After the biggest court of the land told you, say you're in error. All you needed to do is stay back. So, Talu, again, is very clear. And I'm challenging all of you people. When you see it there, you come by, you beat me. If you see anywhere that the president having power to suspend the central bank governor, look, that era is a sensitive era. That is the reason why the people who did that document, they know what they did the document for. So they Bwaka suspending that man and putting it, who made that? Bwaka just took $8 million from the identical central bank. And some of the reason they're suspending that man, this is it. Because I guess that man leaked the secret to IMF.
So they took the $8 million from where? When? They gave it to
from the reserve. They gave it to how you call it, bank. They took money from that the bank gave them that money during the campaign. And they took money from that place. And that place, you know very well that there is a law order that nobody borrow money from the central bank. And that's some of the reasons the IMF were helping us and working. They think that can be real order, Nancy. I don't know who can discuss some of these things. Go to Front Page Africa. It's right there. The IMF, they are very mad with this government. They went in there to took $8 million from there. So they were sitting down with a lying bucket to suspend the central bank governor and bring in your own person there. Do you know what they're about to do now with the money in there? You think the people who did that first put that law together, they crazy? They don't know what they were doing?
Thank you, Vasco.
You know, yeah.
I'm checking for the 14. I didn't see you.
I went to the there's a
the 14 I see it, different 14.
You will not see the 14 there. You will see it. You will not see it.
No, but the 14 I see it, different 14. I was trying to say.
Nancy will put it up today and we'll read it.
Of business.
Guys, we have to do this. We have to do this for not just us on set, but for the sake of our audience.
Yes.
There are people who have sleepless nights just to get something from what we do here. And so when we come on the platform with information, We should be in a position
Sure.
to provide the information in its totality in such a way where the people who listen to us or watch this show are informed.
Yes, I send it
So
to you
that
again.
we don't leave them in doubt.
I send
All
it to
right.
you again.
So, um, Vasco, when you send document like this, and it's
Then the thing very
uh,
easy to find. Just go
you
to
know,
Google, you put
no,
step for the Central Bank Act on
you know,
removal of the governor.
you
It'll
know,
open the whole thing for you.
Vasco,
Yeah.
Vasco. We're gonna come to this art issue. We'll come to it. Trust me. We address the art issue. It will not pass. It will not slide on the show today. We
Yeah.
address the
Now that's what I want because I
let's
challenge you.
Nelson, we are on a public radio. I have that Central Bank Act in front of me. Vasco, for education purpose, when you are referencing a section of a legal document, first reference the article. It is under the
Article 14,
article
section 4, I think.
section.
Article
Section 4.
14, section 4.
So you're referencing us to Article 14, Section 4.
Thank you. Go there.
Okay, now we'll look for it.
Okay, let me put it up. I wanted to do this later on the show, but I'm going to put it up now.
Who you want to bring?
I said I wanted to bring it up later on the show, but
Let's put it up. I'm begging you. Put it up. Yeah, let the people know that the president is violating so many laws.
Vasco, let's get it in small chance now. Hold your peace, brother Vasco. Let's put this up. But Mobile, I want you to take your 30 seconds.
Article 14 does not have anything about removal. Article 14 is operating policy. It has nothing on removal.
I don't know what you're looking at.
So
But the same law we're looking at.
thing
The
right here,
same law
you
we're
know,
looking at. Article 14 of the Central Bank Act has to do with the operating policy. It talks about the management operating procedure. It talks about the reverse. It's just a very simple article. It has section 81 there. It said management shall prepare an operating procedure and from time to time change, revise, and alter any portion of its operation manual. It has nothing about removal. So again, which article are we talking about, Vasco?
Hold on.
Maybe sending a different article 14 you're reading.
Say Bapo. Hold on.
That is still documented.
Hold on,
still
man.
documented.
I know you ain't know how to find it.
It's under part 4.
Okay.
Go to part 4. It says administration and management. Part 4, number 14.
No.
It may not even talk about removal to about go there.
Hold on.
Guys,
Right there, man. I said it to you. You should give me a hand out. We should get on the fruit on the show. Be making research. I said it today in the chat room.
Your reference on the document is not correct.
I screenshot that identical part and send it to Nancy.
Yeah, it says resignation or removal of executive governor. So it's under part 4. Number 14 under part 4.
That is correct.
Let me say this. It is just prudent enough that when we come on the show, we have a particular conversation, a particular discussion. We remain in the confine of the discussion, not to divert the show to something else. All right?
Yeah, but Nelson, yeah, like it right there. Let me say something. Nelson, let me say something, right?
This is not a route we want to go. We have a topic, we have a conversation, we have a talking point, a discussion. It's just prudent enough that we remain in the confines of what the conversation is for the day. So,
but these are the things the president was talking about.
But Nelson, you see, that's what people don't understand. In this document, this portion of this document that speaks to resignation removal, those things do not speak anything towards suspension. They are talking about permanent removal.
So
Is
let me
it?
let me read let
So
me
that's what
read
I'm telling you.
for the
Nowhere
sake
in
of
the
my
act you
audience.
will
No,
find
no, I'm coming.
suspension.
I'm coming. I'm coming. And there's this
You
portion of the
suspend
act.
somebody, then you say you
No,
know
I'm
remove a man.
coming,
No, no,
Vasco.
hold on,
You
This
suspend the man
Vasco.
without taking
no,
pay.
no, no, guys. Let's do the show. This portion of the act, I'm gonna read for the sake of our audience, the people listening to the radio. I know the people watching can already see what's here. I'm gonna take my time to read it so that we clear the air on this aspect.
Yeah, that clearly air.
Resignation or removal, of executive governor, non-executive governor, and deputy governors. No person shall serve or remain the executive governor in uh non-executive governor. Wow,
No, a
this
non-executive governor. A.
um I don't know if some of you have glasses you can read, but it
Executive
All right, let
governor,
me read it. Let me read it.
non-executive governor or
okay,
deputy
okay. So
governor shall
let's
be
Let me
have
read it.
removed by the Senate
Mickey,
from office only upon a bill. Okay, go ahead, go ahead.
Mickey, if you have
Resignation or removal of executive governor, non-executive governor, and deputy governor. 1. No person shall serve or remain the executive governor, a non-executive governor, or a deputy governor of the central bank who is A. An official or salaried employee of a government ministry or other public entity, except a teacher or professor in a university. B. An official of a political party. Or C. An official or employee of a financial institution or a beneficial owner of an equity interest in a financial institution. 2. The executive governor, non-executive governors, or deputy governors shall automatically be removed from office upon the concurrence of any of the grounds under subsection 1 of this section. 2. Let me repeat 2. The executive governor, non-executive governors, or deputy governors shall automatically be removed from office upon the occurrence of any of the grounds under subsection 1 of this section, which is the one I read previously. It didn't say by who, it just said they shall be removed automatically. It didn't
okay,
say.
okay, okay. Mickey,
Now let me
Mickey,
go to 3. The document is not done.
Nothing that may go down.
No, it ain't
Mickey,
done yet.
for the sake of time,
Yeah, Jack, go to number
Mickey,
4.
what Mickey just read, sufficiently dealt with the entire argument that Vasco tried to
No, I disagree. Next, you cannot read a document like that. Complete the reading.
Man, you
listen,
explain that, Vasco.
listen.
Nelson, let's do it for our
But all that
listeners.
when you
Let them
read,
go
you
to
ain't got
four.
nothing to do.
Complete the reading, Mickey. Complete the
And
reading.
four get
Yeah,
baby.
I
Don't
disagree.
All
forget
right.
four get baby.
They got a key part what I want you to
Number
listen to. The
3.
key one.
They just spell it in.
Number
Oh, yeah.
3.
Let's
They don't
listen.
got
The
any trouble.
executive governor or deputy governor may resign his or her office by giving not less than 3 months' notice in writing to the president. A non-executive governor may resign from his or her office by giving not less than 1 month's notice in writing to the president. The executive governor, non-executive governors, or deputy governors shall be removed by the Senate from office only upon a bill of impeachment by the House of Representatives upon any of the following reasons: gross breach of duty, misconduct in office, conviction of a felony, being declared bankrupt, disqualified or suspended from practicing his profession in Liberia by order of a competent authority made in respect of him personally, and is adjudged or otherwise declared to be a person of unsound mind or incapable of properly performing the functions of the office owing to ill health. This thing is clear as day. It did not use.
Okay,
It did not
Mickey,
say. It did not say
Nelson.
only.
I'm gonna come to you. Mickey, just hold on a bit, sir.
Yeah, let me.
Vasco,
Yeah.
I've pulled up the document.
Yes.
You listen to the reading.
Yes.
Let's hear you connect this document to what to the previous point you are just.
Okay, Nelson. Thank you so much. So, my argument was there is nowhere in that document the president can remove the central bank governor. That is my argument. The key word I want you to know: the central bank governor can be removed through impeachment, and that has to be done through the House. There's nowhere in that document that even talk about suspension. The only power the president get, the only power to get the president over there is when the central bank governor is sick. And that document, he got a document from a medical doctor proving his sickness. The president can take him from there and replace him in a period.
Vasco, again, I want to ask you this question.
Yes.
Was the CBL governor removed?
Nelson, that's what I'm saying. There is nowhere the president can suspend the CBL governor.
But then Vasco, you take one side of the argument initially, and then you take it.
That's the violation we're talking about. You're reading the thing over and over.
Thank you.
The president don't have any right to suspend that man.
Thank you,
Vasco. Read the thing.
I want us to go across the table now.
I know only my brother Cindy will agree with me.
No, Cindy is not agreeing with you either.
You looking about somebody? I know Cindy.
Only Anthony can agree with you.
The guy is trying to.
About somebody.
If you buy Cindy over, buy the man through your argument.
Cindy over.
Push your point to a place where it is easy for Cindy to say yes on this one. I agree with Vasco, but
definitely because I know Cindy.
You're not convinced. A lot of the panelists on here tonight, relative to this particular argument that you push it.
I know. Except somebody won't hide their face and they won't buy the. They don't want Sheen to grab them. No. They will come here and make noise. But Nelson, it is clear. No argument here.
Thank you,
Nelson. You remember what I said earlier?
That
there's a difference between suspension and removal. This document, the legal. When you go to the legal aspect of it, there is no ambiguity here. This document is telling you the central bank governor or other deputy governors can be removed only by a bill of impeachment.
Yes.
It is silent. The document is silent on suspension. If you go to court, there is nowhere you will have a defense saying the president has no right to suspend somebody.
So Mickey, Mickey, my question to you.
And suspension, they are not the same thing.
Mickey, my question to you.
Let's move on. Let's move on, man.
Not in the law.
Guys.
Something is not in the law and you go about doing it. When something is not in the law and you go about doing it, how do you call that? You don't violate the law?
No.
Yeah, so okay, guys, I'll have to meet you guys because we have to move on. Seriously, we can't have time. CBL governor removal and all that kind of thing. Mobile, take your 30 seconds, send you next, Peter, and then we move to the phone lines thereafter.
Yeah, thank you, Nelson. When we come on the show, we give our people information that is very important and they want to know. But Nelson, the meeting sedition running away from now is the audit. They're only going to central bank because they understand that the audit is clear, like all the officials and whosoever that are in the cookie jar. So now the only place they get to hang on now, central bank, you have violated the law. But they forgetting to know that law not indicate anything about suspension or whatsoever. But now get this clear. Under the A, B, and C, they get some reference. So when I come here and say because of they and based on my practice and other things, they say you're bad against suspend. So when I come here and for our people, the man hand was in the cookie jar. And end of the day, you not just fire him, you suspend to do your investigation. So when the investigation, probably proceed to where probably it's going to be done. End of the day, when you found guilty, and then they say the president or whoever can take the next step. So we shouldn't come here and fool the Liberian people on things that is not right.
Thank you, Mama.
Nancy.
Thanks a lot. Sandy, you want to come in?
Yeah, look, Nelson, on the topic of the former president's speech, I see a lot of folks that apparently didn't capture what I was trying to talk about here, including my own brother Toure. Look, I pick one of the major parts of the speech today, and that's what I try to talk about. And that has to do with when the president said we will politically and legally resist the government. I try to focus on the word politically and legally, and I try to capture that into resistance. And I try to inform the Liberian people based on the intellectual definitions of political and legal resistance. It does not apply immediately that President Weah is talking about starting war, for instance, or inciting people to start war. However, I also do agree that just based on what we call experience-based analysis, there might be folks around the president that may want to misinterpret that speech and act on it in different ways. We know that there have been cases where people would threaten the peace of the country. And I also reference a guy who associates himself with the model rebel faction, who today we saw making regular statements. We will find those people in our society that will try to misinterpret the speech to befit what they can do. I also then ask the Liberian government to ensure that our security is intact and that anyone that tries to disturb the peace of our country must be brought to the justice system. I am not saying again that we don't have people that could do terrible things. I am saying just based on my interpretation of legal and political resistance, that does not directly mean that the president is inciting war or is inciting harm to Liberia. I want to make that clear.
Thank you. Francis, you want to go ahead and we take Bida?
Yeah, I mean, based on the speech today, I would say again, also I agree with what Sandy is saying. There's nothing over there that will say former President we are calling for any uprising or whatever in the country. Former President we are very aware of former President Charles Taylor's address. So he will not associate himself with anything that will send him to the Hague. So people can misinterpret what he want to say. It happened in the U.S. here. Former President Trump, he said some things, even though he's very flamboyant, but people march on the Capitol, and now everybody's saying Trump hold their hands and walk into the Capitol. So you can control how people respond, but also to make responsible statement. But if you make a responsible statement, you still can control how people interpret it. But the Liberian people should not be afraid of anything. There will be no uprising. When our Oman and our Papidan, they saw war. They put the child saw their grandparents today. So they will tell our children, this Rambo movie thing and not only in the theater. So none of that stuff will happen in our country. Our country will remain peaceful. There will be no uprising. So people shouldn't worry about it. But like I said, that was one of the weakest political speeches I've ever heard in a long time. No substance.
Okay, thank you. Bida.
Thank you so much, Nelson. And let me say this. People will sit on the platform and talk about comprehension. And you take small little article to read it, interpret, and getting you hard time. But we want to say this to our people, so it should not leave in the air. A governor can be suspended by the president for a culpable cause. And that culpable cause, one of those culpable causes is corruption. So if you bring a legal document, I'm talking about remove, that's another argument for another day. So we were very clear in our intro when we said a governor can be suspended. So nobody can come and erase that. You have no fast to that. So basically, everyone on the platform knows that a particular individual, when he speaks, looking at history of his popularity, it has weight. There are certain things you will say before your follower get to know the understanding of what you mean. Come on, it's late. You saw the lives of Carrasco and other folks, and we even have people calling themselves rebel leaders. I mean, what should we to that extent as a country? People saying they're from Model, all the things, they're reminding people of the old days. There where we coming from, we say the speech was insightful, it was hateful, and shouldn't be coming from Georgia. As one said, one time peace ambassador. Let political leader be very, more refined as to how they gave statement. The likes of Kumi, we can give them that aspect of being refined. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Ture, let's hear you.
Let me say this. At the end of the day, we all listen to the president. I literally ran from my office today just to go sit by myself and listen to it because I had that much interest in it. Let me use words that's some of the words that the president used, right? To tell you what it was not insightful. We will resist. All right. Wish hunt. And then to finalize it with this famous quote now that Sidisha are running with. Sadly, it seems that the Bouaga administration is misinterpreting our commitment to the peace and stability of our country as a weakness. So now you look at that. And right when the president said that quote in there, the whole room, whoa. So let me tell you, my brother, let me tell you this. President, we can be peaceful in the eyes of the international community, but some of his utterances does not represent some of the things he says. And that's just the fact. Maybe that's how I understood it. But I'm telling you, there are a lot of zillions of people out there that may act, not the president not the former president telling them directly to go and do something. But when leader speaks, people tend to move. Even if you don't tell them to do stuff, they will move. That's what I'm saying. Thanks.
Let's take Vasco, then Mickey. Yeah. Okay.
Let's see. Let me say, it was a great show. Thank you for the time. So, but today the president's speech, there was no incitement in that speech. The president didn't incite anybody. The president didn't say, my partisan, you go out there and do this. When somebody say we'll resist this song, it doesn't mean that they're going to bring war. To resist you, that's anything you're doing when we know that it's not right. You want to come and arrest our people while you're breaking all the laws in the country, we'll make sure that it don't happen. That's what we're talking about. When we tell you, we'll use political means and the rule of law in the country, yes, we got ECOWAS. We can let the world know what is happening. We can come right here to the United States here and lobby too. Since in the country, the man is bigger than all the law in the country, we can come, we can go the United Nations, we can tell them this is what's happening.
Lobby for what?
Eh?
Lobby for what?
Sanction. And people lobby for sanction and give my girl that. But when you're breaking all the laws in the country, people eating 22 million nursing.
You're the politician, then I just sanction you'll be up lobbying for
all. But in Liberia, when they say sanction, people don't know that when they say sanction, people look at the sanction thing, they'll be some kind of big thing that they may be doing bad thing so that the country will live in.
Thank you, Vasco. Mickey, your 30 seconds quickly. And you're laughing.
Empty. Don't make the loudest noise.
Nancy, at the
The
end,
booger they were sitting out in the country, they're doing their 6 years. They stole a bunch of money only under the disguise of lobbyists paying people to come lobby in Washington to do this, to do that. All that money was saffron. We didn't see anything. Why you are in power? You need lobby to help your own government. You will call America. Who will listen to you? They gave you speech today to read. You were sweating to pronounce words. You were fumbling. Who you coming lobby? Why you coming tell the people that they will understand? Yourself can't even understand yourself. Vasco, your stuff food in the common people. The stupid ones for that, who will listen to anything you say. You stop it. You got no lobbying power, nothing. The only thing your people got is stealing power. So stop making yourself feel good. Listen, at the end of the day,
Nancy, you're not telling the man to
the
control
legal
his
aspect,
voice.
my man, your time finished.
You did it to me. The man you see stupid all the show.
The legal aspect, in the country, the law will take its course. It's not the first country for these things to happen. The law will take its course.
Thank
They
you.
say let the chip fall where they may. Those people who are culpable for corruption, they will go through the process. George Weah, I told you, I say it will come a time when George Weah speak again. The number of people will continue to reduce until there will be nobody to stand behind him besides Sekou Kalasco taking a picture with a microphone. Let them keep disturbing that empty noise.
And we get more all the reports are coming out.
Thanks a lot, Vicky. Thanks a lot.
Very
And I want
disturbing.
to say thanks to everyone. It's been a great show tonight. Yes, due to some reasons we can't go to the phone lines now.
Wow.
And I want to say thank you for doing your closing as well.
Due to what reason?
It's been a very good show.
All the time. Actually.
Yeah. We're kind of
But Nessie, you gotta apologize to our listener who want to call now. You gotta apologize to them for that.
But Nelson, Nelson,
yeah,
Nelson got news that Papa trying to construct new prison compound.
Yeah. Nelson, I'll send you a photo, bro.
Yeah, let me go try it. Like, we're putting in.
Nelson, I'll send you a picture.
So guys, okay, so yes, Bida, I'm just in the photo you sent me. It's about a birthday, right?
Yeah.
But Nelson, please apologize to our people for tonight because they're all waiting to make a call, please. My man, I worry about our people because they take their time to listen to us, my brother.
You're sorry,
my man, Mickey, they put welcome me in the comment section, my man.
My man, Mickey, you gotta start coming, my man.
So let me take 3 calls from here to where you can take the rest of the calls online, right?
At least.
Don't forget my picture. Don't forget about that picture.
055101075 055101075. You can call in now and make your input on the show tonight. Let's see if we can take the first caller 055101075. This person, I'm hearing myself. Can we all mute? Hello.
Yeah. Good morning.
Yeah, morning. It's good to have you. Let's
Thank
hear
you for all the ideas you brought. I just want for Pasco to know that majority took over in Ghana, they went and put aside some of the constitution in order to bring Ghana to where it is today. Ghanaians were coming in Liberia to do everything, but today we are going to Ghana for everything. I'm a black woman talking. If the constitution was violated, we will apologize to the Liberian people so that we can correct some of the wrongs that even in the very, very acts that were created, we will correct it.
Thank you.
So
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. Let's take the second. We lost that person. Let's see if we can go back to the phone line. Hello, you're live. Go ahead quickly. We lost that caller. Hello. What's happening? We keep losing the call. Hello. Please go ahead. Yeah, go ahead quickly. Let's hear you.
I'm G.
Okay. Let's hear your thoughts.
I want to appreciate you guys on the platform this morning, and I want to respond to my brother over there,
Who your brother?
the guy that was raising the issue of the central bank governor.
Okay.
Uh, every law in this country, he has to go through it, but there's a law that surpasses every other law that has to do with the organic law, which is the Constitution. It gave the power to the president to appoint and to dismiss any other appointee by the way and pleasure of he as president. So the act does not supersede the Constitution of Liberia. That's
Yeah,
one thing.
but again,
But
if you
that's
say the Constitution gave right to the president to dismiss anybody at his will and pleasure, maybe you need to be specific so we take a look at that specific portion because we know that individuals, some employees or individuals appointed in government are there to serve in turning positions as well.
we we we,
And
we do
and
we
some of
do
those tenures
agree.
are created by the very constitution, like you have the National Elections Commission and a few others, so how do we
No,
reconcile that?
yeah. So there are provisions that there are acts that you as a person, if you are to benefit from the tenure, that you cannot do. So the fact that you violate these things, it gave right for dismissal or suspension. It gave reason now that you can be suspended or dismissed.
Thank you. Right.
But then let me conclude quickly, please.
Yeah, but
Another
let me
thing
down
here
with the
is
president.
that 6 years of their time. The government is doing the audit. So once they do the audit and say, look, there's a reason for you to come and answer questions, the most honorable thing our brothers can do is go to the court.
Thank you.
And then to go through the process and let people start making derogatory statements that would derail the peace of the state.
Thank you
And
very much.
nobody would be deterred or nobody would be, would succumb to things. These people go through the process of justice.
Thank you. We have to hold you there. So I'm gonna give it what to you, Ray, to take more calls from online as we then after the call you can take as many calls. Then we'll come back to do the closing as we do.
Caller, go ahead. Send in your call 267-648-9692. You got 1 minute. 267-648-9692. Call and have your say.
You got you. Well, you don't get no caller. Nobody on the line yet, right?
I ain't get one you. I ain't get one you.
But that will start doing our closing, my man. Let me just start, and then we'll go to. Yeah,
But before we even do the closing, but man, I even get to speak. I had a
yeah. After me, you go. We got about to
But
leave.
Mickey, welcome back, but man, it's been a long time.
But you know what?
Mr. Trump, man, Anthony talk about
Yeah.
We ain't got to wait for Anthony.
Yeah.
Anthony came late to church. We ain't
Yeah,
got
but
to.
I know I
but
did church.
No, when you get Anthony the chance, then you will give
I
up the
was
chance as well.
here
no,
before.
listen.
I did not come
Anthony,
late.
I about to tell it.
All right, guys. All right, guys. I got one caller.
I didn't come late.
We have callers on the line already.
Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Anthony, we're close.
The time is appropriate.
You want to put the phone on speaker to read?
Today,
Okay,
that's
yeah.
to his speech.
Okay, go ahead.
To be honest, to be fair, to be clear, I think there's too much democracy in Liberia. If that wouldn't have been some African country, Mr. Wood have been arrested today to answer a question. Here again, nobody, no former president should go out there and make such a statement as trying to incite violence in the country. You understand? It's not right today, it's not right tomorrow. Not a former president should make such a statement, incite violence.
Thank you.
Against a sitting president. If that would have been another African country, he probably would have been in jail today. And here again.
All right, caller. Thank you very much. Caller, what's your name and where you calling from? 1 minute.
Hello, Trey. My name is William. I'm calling from North Dakota, Fargo.
Hey, Will, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm good, bro. Yeah, I must applaud you guys for your topic, and I just want to let people know, most especially Vago being in studio here, let's say on the show over there, I want to let you know something. This job we are, man, I really hate for people to say he doesn't know what he's doing. Well, we are playing two other people, but he know exactly what he's doing. So nobody should say what Joey are saying, he don't know what he's saying. He's saying what exactly the musician performing. So what exactly is going on right now, Joey is fully aware of it. So let's get that at the back of our mind today. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Caller, what's your name and where you calling from? Caller, go ahead. Hello, what's your name and where you calling from?
Yeah, thank you, sir. My name is John. I am in the position of Shadow North Carolina, USA. You see what you can say, Pasco don't bring nothing to the table when it comes to the 70s, because you know, Pasco is sitting on the radio, he's sitting on the internet, right? He's telling great people that, what I took in, you know, not listening to them. This is why, as it contains fact that the former central bank governor there, that he suspended the man, which is his fault. So Joel, we serving as a president, as a sitting president running against opposition. They going to take a bill that happened to cover up to they go to cover and they during the opposition to go run campaign against him. Is there any kind of discussion on the radio? How will you come out and send a statement? I want you when you after the show you can listen to my statement you make on the radio. Thank you very much for the show and thank you, Leslie. Welcome to the lab, Leslie.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Yeah. Nancy will be pleasing someone who calls Ziale too late. Caller, what's your name and where you calling from?
Hello?
Yeah, what's your name and where you calling from? Go ahead, 1 minute.
Yeah, how you guys doing? This is Hashim Formula calling from Arlington, Pennsylvania.
How you doing, Mr. Formula? Go ahead, 1 minute.
You know, Jovia does not make any sense. Because if Jovia gets sense, when you can over there, they put music to come and speak over there. Because from the day you were elected, he said anybody that caught in corruption, they should be prosecuted. So he gets sense. He said that there's something to it and you see. He gets sense. Something to it and super. So we have used that for them to see for him to benefit himself, his family. So you make any sense?
Man, you need to check the colors that
you
keep
very
coming
much.
and be using words like that.
Yeah, I mean that former president. Come on,
I think that's it, though, Nelson. I think we have
You
exhausted
need to
the 5
protect that
calls.
show, yeah. You don't want somebody to
Protecting
come here and
nothing.
use
The people
words
will
on
express
broadcast.
themselves. We're not protecting anything. The people free to tell you what they want to tell you. Saying you can tell
Mickey,
what
you
you want
just
to
come
tell.
on this show get regulation now.
What regulation? Regulation before you can carry and be live.
All right, guys. Hey. Okay, guys,
Don't
come
go
on
there.
now. All right.
But you know,
for instance, friends, I go your cousin, man.
They can't insult
Vasco, my man.
Vasco, please let me finish my closing. Then you can take over the show. All right. So, guys, it was another good show. You know, I'll still tell my Liberian people. Former President George Weah no child sort of address like the back of his hand. So he will not say or do anything in our country that will incite violence. If other people misinterpret his words, it's on them. But don't think for a second that former President George Weah purposely gave that speech because he wanted to incite violence. No, that man is very selfish. He cares about himself, and he is not going to give away his freedom for nobody. So all the Sagi boys and kind of run popping up to make it tough. That a lot of talk about all the men get power. The men get power, but how you get power when somebody flog you and take it? Then you say you give it? They beat you. They want to about less than 1%. Like, bro, continue to remain peaceful. Everybody, like people who got people but were scared. We saw that dead civil war, 250,000 people alive, and we saw when the main architecture, they play Elena right now. Nobody won't go there. Ain't other one that started crying right now. They ain't pass the white economic crack or even start yet. The other one who survived and stay crying around. Who the new person won't get out of stress? on their back. So nobody will do that in Liberia. Let's just focus on keeping this government, the current government, President Braga, foot to the fire to make sure all the wrong that was done in the past should be corrected. And so far, he's made some mistakes, but he's on the right track by bringing some form of accountability. All these people, they are not guilty. They'll only be guilty if they go through the court and they are found guilty and they are locked up. Whether they are alleged, these are allegations, but it's good. It's a breath of fresh air to see that Liberia administration is bringing people auditing the past government. This the Saki boys, they didn't audit the past government because they thought it was susu. You know that elephant meat theory. Let them call our own and go. They thought that what they were going to come and do, but unfortunately for them, they fall down inside now. So that all they can do, they'll say, "Which one?" Me, I sending 1,000 broom to Liberia for all the witches to be flying around hunting the alleged criminals. Which one will catch? We'll send them to the court and lock them up.
Brother. Thank you. Thank you, Francis. Bilal, go ahead, bro.
No, thank you. And let me say, always kudos to Nelson for having all here to discuss Mama Liberia. And thanks to all those that called to make some business concern, comment on some of the things that we said here. And providing further information. You know, like bro, always be like that when people subject themselves to the issue about being a partisan to a political party and not looking at the bigger picture. This is why some of us, we said or have said, I think it is important that we stop being subjective, because when you are in a political party, what always you will hear is party politics, party mandate. The party good at it, you cannot good at it, you are a deviant. If I'm to be a deviant of a political party in the interest of my country, I think that is more unique. And I think every young people should trend on that path. But basically, that is it. Liberia, the issue about people saying witch hunt, all this stuff. So I want to remind the sedition, when you were beyond Charles Elite and other folks from the Ellen government, was that a witch hunt or were you doing the right thing? Though you were doing on the basis of some, normal showing the uprise that you against corruption, you want to fight corruption, and we didn't see it going further. Were you witch hunting people? So that's the question that I'm asking Sedition, and I hope Sedition can answer that question. Liberia is on the path of making progress. And what we want to say to President Boaga is this: please continue on this path. As usual, we have seen people coming to wanting to go beyond formal government official. It has not reached to the logical conclusion where the Liberian people get to understand where the various cases, what was the logic behind that person being indicted. Like Francis said, indictment is not fully you being guilty. Everyone has their right. It's a criminal case. You have your right. You get a criminal bond and all the stuff. Come in the country and do the necessary thing. Subject yourself to the justice system and fight the case legally. For people to be making all kind of a statement around here, it's very confusing. It's very somehow. But what I want to say, thanks to all of the great guys for sharing your talks. And I think it was an education movement. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Mickey, go ahead, bro.
Look, let me just read this right from the president's office, right? The president has mandated that no official of government from the executive branch should travel on international trips without his approval, and any official wishing to travel should state the benefits of his or her travel to the country. The presidential mandate, which was circulated in the executive branch yesterday, states that all officials wishing to travel on international official trips are required to submit to the office of the president within 5 working days of your travel plans. And if a cabinet member returns to the country, said cabinet member or members are to obtain advice to meet the president form. This form should tell the president the main outcomes and achievements of the international travel. The president mandate also stated, beginning now, the approval for international travel for all official businesses will be considered when such trips will result in clear benefits to the government and people of Liberia. That's somebody mean business. Now you're Eugene Namwe get up, he travel, he go and take lobster picture and put it on social media, but he can't get fat. He eating all the nutrients, he can't get fat. Listen, Fasco they will come here because thought of a free. Fasco not paying money to talk. If Fasco are in Liberia, where you to use internet, you have to be buying credit and putting it there. Vasco will not be talking. You will not see Vasco here plenty. But Vasco in a country where when you pay for your internet a whole month, you understand? So when Vasco come, we appreciate that's the benefit of a good governance. And that's what we want for our children, our grandchildren in Liberia. They may not cause all these noise. We agree it will be music to our ears. By the end of the day, they will go to where they belong. Nothing will happen in that country. Joe, we are named for that on our list. Joe, we will go beyond bar too. Nobody child will get on the street or nobody child will go do something to satisfy somebody that George we are. No. So Vasco, you can cause all your noise you want. It will not move for an inch. We will come after you aggressively. We will use everything within our disposal to come after you. They stealing your debt, it will not go with impunity. And if Joe Boyka, if he get drunk, I don't know what he would drink to get drunk, to start backpedaling, I always say this. The pressure from us, it will take him to an early grave.
Okay, Mickey, thank you. Thank you, Mickey. Vasco, go ahead, brother. Go ahead with 2 minutes, my man.
All right, now, when small children speak, sometimes I get low, they play phone. So, but anyways, look, we are looking at the bigger picture. If you guys are smart, you will know where TDC is going. And the news is about to shock you guys. This president has violated enough law to be impeached. And this is what we are working on. This is what we are working on. I don't want to speak on it right now, but I will just bring the little gist out to you people. If you play with us. If you think that we don't have that means, we don't have the numbers to kick that man out from that place, you're joking. This man is already suppressing the judicial branch of government. You listen to the Chief Justice on Saturday last time, threatening to close the court down if they cannot get their budgets placed to where they want it to be. And you sit down here, you'll be talking about Joe, we want to bring war. Joe, we are looking at somebody that can bring war.
Nobody said that in Vasco.
Eh? But you listen to the point and talking about Joe, and no one charged on air, this and that. And nobody speaking of. They may say a simple thing today. He ain't thought anything about war. But if you are a smart person sitting here, we have the speaker, we have the deputy speaker. When you keep breaking the laws of the land, which is glaring that everybody can see, you will leave us with no alternative but to what? Put the impeachment bill on the floor. And you will be surprised that some of your lawmakers, how many lawmakers you got with them? You know the party. You gotta be careful when you're doing things. Because we understand Bwaka is not in charge. Some of you are sitting there saying that, oh, and people fooling president we are. Bwaka don't even know what he's doing. He don't even know what he's the president of the country. They don't know. This is somebody that can sit down. When they say, Mr. President, the press, then you be asking, say, that who's supposed to talk, I'm supposed to talk. That the man is saying that, thinking that he will make some decision for our country.
Thank you, Vasco. Thank you.
You just listen to that man disgracing the country.
My man, you going 3 minutes.
Let me labor. I can't be in flat.
You going 3 minutes. I said 2 minutes.
Let me just name my flat. I've already done. You listen to that man disgracing or even the international partners that came for the July 26th celebration. Go listen to the man. What did the man was saying? Nobody could understand what the man was saying. The man don't know what he was saying. That the man is thinking I will make some decision for the country. The man was saying that he may want to pull this country into problems.
That's denigration.
Thank you, now, Vasco. Hold it there, Vasco. Thank you.
That's intentional denigration. Show your light to go.
What is intentional and saying?
Yeah, that's what we say.
Let's go, Anthony. All right, guys. Vasco. Vasco
I'm
said
trying
2
to tell you
minutes.
that.
You went 7. You went 4 minutes plus, bro. For
Okay,
real.
I get my remaining minute to Anthony.
No, you give me nothing. But you were laying some good point. I thought you were going to stay on that track, Vasco. Yeah,
Okay, go ahead. 2 minutes.
But listen, listen, man. Give my dear brother Mickey, welcome back. You know, I found it very difficult that you found everything that you cannot stand we are, but you're a Trump supporter. And you're two on the show, you and Francis. But it's okay. Let's speak.
You really want to go there?
Oh man, wait now. Look, my man, way back. Anthony, start that thing back. Don't
You
start.
really want to go there, Tony?
Start out on one.
Hey, my man, that's a political job, man. You better
Okay.
wait long time, man. You better wait long time. Happy to see you. But on a serious note, look, I heard my dear brother Mickey, praising the president's new initiative, holding, his appointed official accountable on international travel. That's a good thing. But
That thing is lie.
what? Hold on, Vasco, hold on.
No, I don't want to tell that. I just forgot about it. Saying a lie. I cannot find it nowhere on the executive
Hold
management
on,
website. That thing from CDC and President we are dead out there. They want to screenshot it.
Vasco, would you
brought it.
stop, please?
Vasco, you can.
But I blame Nelson, man.
We got to bring the breath of Lazarus now. Because that's what people can be intoxicated on this
$1.6
show.
million was spent to South Korea. I don't know why Senator Dillon was even on that trip. Senator Amaracona was best suited for that trip because he understands international business and also understands, business negotiation. And he's a farmer and other different things. Dillon on that trip was a misplaced. The taxpayer did not get a dime out of that trip. We got 23 MOUs signed from that trip. We saw the president dedicating fingerprint machine, biometric machine. We saw the president dedicating 20 cars, wasting taxpayer dollar doing those kind of dedication when the ministers and other government officials can do those things, because every time the president moves, that's a lot of logistics, a lot of money being spent. Now, saw the president again with gentleman agreement on yellow machines, which is completely out of compliance of the PPCC. But let me get to the point to the president's speech today. That speech, as I said yesterday, as I predicted, or as I speculated on my thought about the speech, what we expect, that he was going to fire up his base, which of course he did today. It was to, mobilize his base. It was to speak, to his base.
You mean a former president? Let me make that correction clear. Thank you.
Former president. Pardon me, we have one president at a time. But politically speaking today, if CDC understand political maneuver and understand the dynamics in politics, they have more lawmakers in both chambers of the legislature compared to any political party today. They control the House of Representatives, the speakership and the deputy speakership. They also have more senators in the Senate than any political party today in Liberia. They lost by less than 1% of the national votes. So politically speaking, they got powerhouse. Do they know how to use the arsenal they have in their possession? It is left with them. But politically speaking, they can hold this government, feet to the fire in a political, professional way. So when the president spoke about we will resist politically and legally, I think that was not a threat, and I want to agree with my brother saying the opening statement today. It was not a threat to the nation. It was a way of saying, like, yeah, we have the political strength in this country. They lost the presidency, yes, but CDC stay in control of the Liberian legislature. The only thing that is, troubling the CDC, they don't know how to position themselves politically to control the narrative of the news in Liberia. That speech that President Weah had today could have been done in a way that, hey, if it's anything about peace in this country, I am the face of peace. My name Weah is peace.
Okay.
And you can trust me with my people who will be peaceful, who will follow the rule of law to the letter, things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? If I were the one to advise President Weah, former President Weah, I would have advised him in a way. You have the political leverage. Use it to your advantage.
Thank you, Anthony. That's what you there, my man. That's what you right there. Let's say hi to our beautiful sister, Shelly. Shelly, man.
Shelly, welcome, man.
Hi, everyone. Nelson
Thanks for
kept
always
me.
finding way to come and tease us at the very
No,
end of the show.
actually, I'm upset. Nelson kept me at the back and said that it was going to be all men show, and I was really intentional in coming on. So he waited last minute to bring me on. It's okay.
Okay, so look, let have
If they
Sandy
told
do
you
a
it's all
closing.
man show, what's there, bro? You here? Why you can't obey rules?
Let have Sandy do a closing,
Okay,
then
Mickey.
we'll come
Why
back to
don't
you,
wait
Shirley.
to welcome me, huh? But you are welcome. We truly miss you. It's great
Shelly,
to
we
have you
already
on the
feel
show.
welcome you, but you will not stay escape the thing. Why you don't want to obey the rules?
Well, because there's no such thing as all men show. Okay, I think
The
all
man
of
guy
us
show
are
the man put the
welcome.
rules down.
Okay, look, Mickey. Okay, hey, we'll come back to that. Let's
Mickey,
go to
You're not understanding my
let's go to the
gimmick.
subject. I'll you.
Today,
Sandy,
you're not
go ahead.
understanding my gimmicks. My gimmicks, the woman,
My man, Mickey.
That's
Man.
what Nelson is muting
Sandy,
you.
go ahead.
You're talking Tabata your first day here. Don't try me, okay?
Sandy, go ahead. Sandy, go ahead with your 2 minutes, brother.
I like to go ahead when the panel is quiet so that my points can be sent across. You know, when people come on the show and say, call the man former president, call him former president. What's wrong with us sometimes? And I'm not trying to be personal here. In a formal diplomatic way, you can call him former president to make that clear clarification. But on this show or any other forum, we can say president, we all know here, there is no law, don't shake your head, there is no law that says don't call him president, we know there is only one president at a time for the Republic of Liberia. It's a common saying, we say President Obama, President Trump. Does that take away the presidency of President Biden? Let me go to the point. I want to thank the President Joseph Yuma Boakai for the actions he's taking on addressing the issue of corruption in our country. I think it's a good thing. But I do not want to be so excited because we have seen trends in the past. President Salif came in, arrested people politically, the like of Charles Drew, Andrew Douglas. We saw how that went. President Weah came, arrested folks like Charles Salif, released them. Few days later, no action was taken. Nothing was recovered. Now we're seeing President Boakai arresting ex-government officials. It's a good thing. But I will be excited when I see the president recovering stolen monies and properties that were stolen from the Liberian people. We all know what happened over the last 6 years. In our face, we saw how the people were showing off stolen wealth from the Liberian people. So it is a good thing when our president or when the government is going after them. It must be done constitutionally, and we must see action. We must see our stolen wealth recovered. By just arresting those people, they go to jail, and you release them and nothing come out of it. We are tired of seeing that. We want to see it to the fullest. Madam Salif made a statement, and I want to read that quote. I want to be precise. She appeared on some sort of radio show, and she said, corruption undermines nation progress. So as patriots, all of us must make a commitment to ourselves for our country's success. Madam Salif is the last person I want to be coached by on corruption.
I agree.
Helen Johnson Salif is the last person I want to hear from when we are talking about corruption. We gave her an opportunity to improve Liberia for 12 years. When material resources were being given to Liberia, When people were feeling sorry for us, literally they were feeling sorry for us because we had just come out of war. When her government was heavily supported by our international partners, she squandered the opportunity. I'm not using my own voice, I'm using President Bouakar's voice.
All right,
They squandered the opportunity, stole the Liberian people wealth.
Thank you,
and now
brother.
she want to tell us about corruption.
Thank you.
It is a great show, man. To radio, thank you too much. I even get my 3 minutes, but it's okay.
Thank you, man. That's 2 minutes.
It's okay.
Thank you. I mean, I know you're a man with
But
time
man, they moderation here, it has to rotate. Somebody need to moderate to something.
I know Cindy is a man with time
Am I going to respond
and
to
precision.
Cindy?
Obviously,
Let's
take our sister Shelley.
Am I going to respond to
Why
Cindy?
we have moderate?
You go and come in with the get somebody spotting on you.
I think I need to respond to
ladies
Cindy.
and gentlemen, your winner. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get our sister because she didn't open, but she won't close.
Yeah, no, I think it's okay
let's
that
give
I
her the
can
opportunity
close,
to
but
close.
I just want to respond to Cindy because I think he personally attacking me just coming on, and I don't appreciate that.
Cindy?
Because Anthony was able to correct himself, and he said, and I quote, that there is only one president. So it's fair enough for him to refer to former president Weah as former president. So I don't know how is that something that he want to make it a closing statement. But anyway, it's good to be on the show. I had the opportunity to listen to each and every one of you, and it was a great show. I love the closing statement, and I'm so upset with Nelson, but we'll have to settle that backstage. So I can do my closing now, right?
Go ahead. I put you on.
Yeah, my closing.
But Adi, you open anything before you come in close on it?
Go ahead, Shelly.
Okay, since I didn't have time to open, I want to say hello to our Liberian people. Honestly, it is always a proud movement to see that not just the president is just speaking words, but he is implementing the things that he said he was going to do for the Liberian people. And that actually makes me proud. And so I want to say this is just the beginning. CDC people, it's good. You can get all your time to have conferences, press conferences, get all your speeches together and have your own plan in your head, but you will not be able to implement any of that because the Liberian people are tired. The Liberian people, they ask for change, and this is the change for them. And we are looking forward to what Cindy said, looking forward to all what the president is planning to do for our country. We want to see that come to light. And it starts with the audit. It starts with holding people accountable. And if that's what people call witch hunting, so be it. I think the Liberian people love that part of it being a witch count or witch counting, whatever they call it, that we can hold people accountable for stealing our resources and making sure that they and their family are rich. We are ready to make sure that we get all of that back for the Liberian people so that the poor people that was able to pay their taxes, their children can benefit from it. Their grandchildren can benefit from it. So I think it's a great start, and I want to say, great job, President. Don't stop. Keep going after them. We need all of them that stole the Liberian people resources. We want to hold it accountable. And let's do it. Legally, let's do it.
Thank you very much. Let me do my
But
own
Nelson
closing
got
now.
one more closing for me, though. So this
Ture,
is going to be...
Let me do my own closing. Sandy,
I know
I'll
you
not
do your.
listen to you.
No, listen. Just 1 second. 1 second. Not long at all.
No, yeah,
Throughout the
go
show
ahead.
tonight, it wasn't even Shelley. Throughout the show tonight, Monba, I think every time someone said president, we are Monba kept yelling it back. Say former president, say former president.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, and that's what I'm trying to address. I mean, President Bouakarr is our president. What a president. We say President Weah, President Sandy, just call me President Sandy.
And
We
they
still have
don't want to
President
respect
Bouakarr.
we are as a former president.
And look, if someone call him president, I mean, look, they can come back and correct themselves. I don't think
The
anyone
man
should
of
actually
president. I
territorial
just said
themselves.
the man of
But let
president.
me say this.
But
There's
he
no need for
corrected
correction.
himself
Let
There's
me
no
though.
need for correction. He's a president. He
right.
served as president. Our title will always be the president. You
Right.
guys just
So look,
let them bring noise.
all right,
Yeah.
let me do my
Yeah,
closing.
let them give people a hard time. And the
Let
man
me do
deserve
my
the
closing
respect.
now. Let me do my one now, guys. Look, at the end of the day, we have a country to protect. And it's all of our responsibility to make sure that that's the case. And when people are out of bounds, we try to help, bring them in bounds. I think that's what a good citizen should do. And that's what we always strive to every night to come here to do that. Because our voices go across, the country. Trust me, my mommy Batala always calling me that, Vatoma, I heard you on Spoon last night. You know what I mean? That's a big deal. So that's the impact that we are making down there. And if you happen to travel to Liberia right now, people recognize you in the street because I experienced that. So it's you know what I mean? And for all of the good reason, because at least none of the people wanted to do anything to me. But let's say this. I'm liking what I'm seeing right now from the old man. We especially I coming from the Gonglo camp, you know what I mean? Like I actually move in. I did my race assessment. I said, look at the aging man here. What kind of race does this man have? Does this man have any kind of aspiration of building a house in Dubai at this time of his years on earth? And the answer was no. So that brought me to JMB. And look, for all of what I'm seeing right now, I'm impressed with what he's
Even
doing.
though he had
And
no
the
plan
fact
for the
that he's
nation,
not
right?
talking, and he's doing it, that's why people say action speaks louder than words. And his action is speaking for themselves. And we will come to realize that maybe it was going to take an aging politician, a decorated aging politician, that are going to set the trend of prosperity.
What is decoration here?
And that's what we are seeing right now. So I want to thank all of you, Princess, Soiree, Sandy, Mickey, my man. Please, man.
But Stuart, be help with the
listen,
decoration you talking about.
did George Weah accord President Burka any respect? Do you know how he referred to President Burka today? Mr. Burka. He never called him president.
The thing is,
Yeah,
Mickey,
what
Mickey,
people
let me come in.
former
But what is wrong
President
by saying
Weah.
Mr. Burka? Is it
Mickey.
wrong to say Mr. Burka?
Mickey,
No, he's
thank
a
you.
president.
Vasco, thanks.
Come on, man.
Anthony, thank you.
No, he is the
Michelle,
president. When you
obviously,
refer
thank
to
you for
you,
coming on,
Mr. is
for teasing
a
us
professional
at
way
the
of
very
saying it.
end.
So when they didn't addressing as president,
We appreciate seeing you here at least at the beginning of the program, not at the very end. But nevertheless, we still appreciate you sharing your beauty with us. Nelson, back to you, man.
Thank you.
Nelson,
Thank
I'm
you.
protesting. I need to moderate this show. It's not fair to us.
Yeah, guys. So it's been a great show, and let me just say thanks to everyone for sharing their thoughts. While I was trying to come on, and Terrell was taking the calls, I listened to one of the callers, and his choice of words were very terrible. I think we're setting the standard not just for former President Weah, but for all other presidents. You can come on, you can disagree with the leaders, but to say this person is, I don't want to repeat the words he said. I thought that it wasn't good. We come on we on radio, all right, and for that caller, I really thought that it wasn't necessary, and I hope we can really refine the way we address our national leaders. Just as we'll have the guys when the CDC they come on the show, and we try to as much as we can to get them
When
to
you laughing, the man saying something
address
he's
the
laughing.
address the presidency with some level of respect. I think we need to do same with former president, former vice president, whoever is former president Ellen Johnson Sirleaf,
Absolutely.
because the Liberian culture has its own uniqueness. Though we are here on this professional platform, but I think we should respect our national leaders, past and present. But again, I want to say thanks to everyone for
Anthony,
being
let me tell you
here.
why I was laughing at Nelson.
I seen my
Nelson,
picture.
are you
You
gonna be
posted
on
it.
the
I
post
think
the
you.
flyer?
Nelson said he can't
Okay,
repeat
so
what they. Nelson said he can't repeat what the caller said and why I laughed because I remember when they used to when they saw that Joria man, and Joria repeated the exact insult. So
But the minute we are now. But in all fairness,
yes,
I
so
think the
Mickey,
folks
man,
on
Mickey
YouTube,
just feel
they
like he
left
never
when they
left.
talking down on we are, but when that same person tell down on JNB, then they get problem with it. Yaka Koluba used to insult we are,
Bro.
praise Yaka Koluba. As soon internet to your day,
Anthony.
Yaka Koluba and a crazy man today.
Anthony, I'm a free speech absolutist. You understand? I don't care if somebody calls. Listen, once you step in the political arena, public service, you are subject to these things. You get me? If you're a private citizen, that's a different thing. I don't care if somebody
why
calls.
are not jumping on the bed weapon on Yaka Koluba now?
What? I don't criticize Yaka Koluba. I'm not criticizing him. I'm not criticizing him.
I've not heard your position on Yaka Koluba since. So that
Bro, I'm telling you right now, here my official position. I'm a free speech absolutist.
Okay, so
no matter rules or your man.
You understand? I don't care what people say because where do you draw the line? If you stop somebody from saying
But
certain things,
Nelson, why are you laughing?
But I'm
yeah,
speaking.
you know,
That's so you believe.
the way Sandy can tell you own a thing that I can maybe go to.
No, that one I said it better. Me, I don't care.
But let me say something quick. Let me say something quick. Yeah, before we go, hold on. If you are not following me on YouTube, you're missing out. Follow Jalahu SB Sunday on YouTube.
You see, and you see the type of thing.
You are missing
I
out.
just come here being sabbatical for you to tell me, oh, Mickey, I'm having so and so thing on YouTube. Follow me.
No, I say everybody. I say everybody. No, everybody. Mickey, they want to go to everybody.
No, you accusation. You lay accusation against me first.
No.
But Mickey,
I'm promoting now. I'm promoting my YouTube. I'm promoting my YouTube.
Can y'all please let Nelson talk and y'all can have all the conversation
I was saying
backstage?
Bill.
Yeah, Nelson will send me bill. So let me
conversation backstage.
wait. Nelson will send me bill. But on a serious note, I've been promoting Liberia on my YouTube. Follow the Jalahu SB YouTube. Subscribe.
Who is there renewing the handle yet?
Nothing. I sent you my two beautiful daughter photos.
You not see my knee?
Can you resend the photo to me, Peter?
You read out my kids already.
No, I can't. My man, I can't send it. And I was sending the EP resident on WhatsApp.
Oh, that's I heard your story.
No, but that phone has gone off, so I can't do I can't get the photo out.
Oh, what kind of story you have on Nelson? The man got on the
I heard
plane.
that's his story. They said doesn't know how to use a GPS. That's why he makes it fly.
Come on,
Nelson.
Whatever. That is not even true.
But Nelson, that's small
Nelson, give me credit for today, eh?
What?
Now, one of the best research on this show. Nobody can argue with me.
My man, you confuse us.
Why you can't confuse you?
Well, guys, I want to say thank you. But just before we go, let me say, guys, let's do this now. Let's do this now.
Y'all let that do what he's supposed to do, guys.
Our sister here, Shirley, as you see right here, is contesting in the Shirley, what's okay? Yeah, go ahead.
United Support Association in America National Queen Contest. I'm going to be representing Minnesota for the purpose of raising funds. We are building a hospital, 13 bedrooms hospital in Sano County, and we are using this opportunity to raise funds and to continue projects in Liberia.
You're building clinic or you're building hospital?
It's peace time. So why you're still calling
hospital?
Yourself
clinic. What?
Hospital.
Okay, so anything we need to know about everything, the flyer up here, you.
So I am asking for a support. My cash out information is on there. Support me to keep the.
You already won, man. What kind of quiz down there?
My cash out information is SNEA. So it's my last name, the $sign, my last name. Any amount will help. And this is going towards a great cause. And the platform that I'm running on is to focus on the youth, in Liberia. Make sure that everyone that don't have the opportunity to send their children to school, that these kids can have opportunity for scholarship and they can be in school. Because as you educate a young person, you educate a nation.
Well, thank you very much.
That
And
makes sense.
so as you know, that's the as you see there, that's a cash app. That's our
So this is
information.
August 3rd, right?
What?
Yes,
Today,
it's gonna be on Saturday in Iowa. It's August 3rd. The program starts tomorrow. Tomorrow is the welcome party. We go through our convention on Friday, and
Just came from
on
Iowa.
Friday we usually, yes, in Iowa. Friday we go over what we have accomplished and then what we plan to work on. Saturday gonna be the ball. If you are in Iowa, it's gonna be on Saturday. I am gonna be the red carpet host for that ball. So come and hang out with me from 5 p.m. To 6 p.m. on Saturday. I will be on the red carpet and welcoming each and every one of you. And then on Saturday, after the red carpet is going to be the ball, I'm going to be the MC as well for the program. So
Baku?
then after being the MC, come and just support me
There
to
is
be the
something
queen.
called
Because
decentralization. You're one, you on red carpet, you're one, you MC. What your friend will do?
no, I am co-MCing with someone else. But I don't know, you said decentralization. That's a really great thing. But once you have the ability
Hey,
to do
Mickey, man.
multiple things, you can do it. So yeah, but I'm looking
Scary,
forward to
scary.
I'm sorry.
But Mickey, when you finish get cash out again, they get 2 years, but cash out you
So
get.
Me
Mickey,
and
please cash at
Shelly,
me.
we get what was that?
And I really am asking for each and every one of you support. If you are watching this, please do try to cash app. The cash
Now
app
I'm forget it. I'll let my sabo get in. Don't worry about that one. The cash
Yeah, I know why you're still doing sapo. Because in that water, that only water the crab can change the try to sapo.
No, actually, Sapo, we are Sapo. Sapo has a unique culture.
Fast what you laughing for?
And I think
Mama, when they see
that's the
people here,
main
they
reason.
understand each other. I can understand them,
That's
but
the
they can't
main
understand me.
reason why I want.
Doing the war, you are any crowd person, they can say a sapo.
okay. So guys, let's do this. Bila, I think I got your stuff up. So Bila has his birthday today.
Yeah.
We want to say happy
That is
birthday.
so
What are
That's
the
so
names,
cute.
Bila?
You got Khadija, you got Khadija, then you have
Hold on, they are twins.
Makula. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, Khadija and
Okay,
Oh,
so
Makula.
yes, but nothing wrong with your eyes.
Khadija and Makula, happy birthday to
Yeah.
you
You
both.
know I'm supposed to
Happy
put my glasses on. I can't
birthday.
see.
Happy
Date of day
birthday.
today.
Tweet. Oh my
We
God, it looks
we
so
Oh,
want
good.
to say happy
Oh,
birthday
that's so cute.
to you.
Happy
so happy
Wow.
birthday.
birthday, Khadija.
To
And
you.
Khadija and Makula.
Yeah.
Oh
Happy
my
birthday,
God.
precious
To
princesses.
you.
take it from your uncle.
No, they are very cute, man. They're very cute.
They're
So
so
yeah, they
cute.
do.
Hey, so I saw you here one
No,
time.
man, that make a baby, man.
That B-ball, man. B-ball operation.
If
Sorry,
only no
tell
children
our
that know
baby
that
they
trouble
need
so
to
we
listen
well,
now.
what can you?
well, folks,
So,
we
man,
want to
Tarek,
say
God
thank
bless
you
you, my man.
everyone for being here
They're
tonight.
adorable,
We
man.
look
They're
But
very
forward
pretty.
to
y'all
bringing
start sending me the
another.
cash
We
app
look
now. My
forward
cash
to
app is
bringing.
not blinking.
We look
Oh,
forward
man.
to
Because you're falling out
bringing
on.
another edition of the late night show tomorrow. Until then, have a good night, and this is how we like to end up for
Let's see
tonight.
what. So